Hail and well met. Welcome to the Westgate Irregulars, episode 15. 15? 15?
16.
Right? 16. 16. I can never keep track of the number. I am Eric Scott DeB, the DM of this particular campaign. These are the Dungeon Scrawlers, and they will introduce themselves, starting with the wonderful Aaron M. Evans.
Hi, I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga. And a quick mention, I believe the ebook for Brimstone Angels, if you have been curious, is currently on sale for $2 at all the fine establishments. So check it out.
Good opportunity.
I'm also going to tell you about our sponsor. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Frida and now Havilar from the Brimstone Angels saga. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and web, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com.
I'm Rhiannon Held. Under that name, I write urban fantasy, and then under the pen name RZ Held, I write space opera. And right now, my new thing that's out is a novella called Clean Install, and the second book in the series, or the second novella in the series, comes out May 5th. So pick up the first one, see if you want to get in on that.
Hi, I'm Yang Wang. I'm a filmmaker and a writer.
Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino. I am a writer and a teacher.
Hi, I'm Emily Tang. I'm a game designer at Wizards of the Coast. Disclaimer, all thoughts and opinions expressed in this stream are my own and do not represent Wizards of the Coast.
And hi, I'm Randy. I write fantasy.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone. And before we get to the Rogars recap, I have a special announcement, which is that the Westgate Irregulars are leveling up to their own Twitch channel. I know, amazing. Our first episode on our new Twitch channel, that's all us, is going to be on May 13th. Does that sound right? Yes.
Yep.
Wednesday, May 13th will be our first episode. So that should give you a little bit of time to transition and us a little bit of time to prepare the welcome committee.
And it's something to look forward to in these vague, blurry quarantines.
Right. We're going to have a bunch of new cool stuff going on that channel, and it's going to be real fun. So I hope you come to watch us. You, our audience, have been an amazing support during this time of imminent crisis and destruction. And we want to continue to bring you along on this story with us. And
Yes.
Thank you very much for your support. And let's keep the good times rolling. And with that, speaking of good times, let's go to Rogar's recap. Take it away, Randy.
I was going to say our audience is keeping us sane, but this is probably going to make them question whether that's true. All right. So, all right. G'day. Actually, I'm Sancho Ponzai, and as you can tell from my accent, I'm actually a gnome from down under the ground. Right. And since the Irregulars were basically under the ground for the last 3 episodes or so, I thought I'd do the recap. Actually, I had an ulterior motive, but I'll just do the recap real quick. So they were into a night mask lair under the city, underground, and they defeated a vampire. And then they tried to escape, but they collapsed the ceiling, and wackiness ensued. There was a giant ape. There was levitation. There was Rogar trying to grab like a giant head of Shah. There was a coin lad who was immune to magic. Sturgeon Careless stole a bunch of maps and documents and stuff. So that's going to piss the night masks off. They'll probably come after us for that, if not the vampire. And but you know, after collapsing half the city on our heads, we got out, or they got out rather. And and then I had an identity crisis there. But we got Marcellia free, which I guess is a good thing. Anyway, so
50-50.
50-50. So, right. So the real reason I asked to do this is because, well, you know, I've been gone for a while, and the reason why is I've been busy with my mates setting up a new organisation, the Gnome Equality Movement. GEM.
No. I mean,
Oh, yes. Why, you may ask? Sturge asks. Well, first, let's just look at your world. I mean, you have elves baking cookies. You have in trees. You have elves making toys in Santa's workshop. You have elves making shoes. You don't just have elves on the shelves. You have elves on the brains, mates. And what jobs do you give to the gnomes? We get to sit around in flower beads as statues. How's that fair? We're the tradies. We're the tinkerers and the workers and the craftsmen. We should be making this stuff equal pay, equal work, mate. Anyway, but this attitude, don't even get me started on like Romeo and Juliet or the gnomes in the Shannara show. They look like those big face creatures from like Star Wars if you left them in the sun too long. What's that about? Anyway, so this attitude, though, unfortunately, carries right over into the Forgotten Realms, which affects me directly. So, what do you call the gnomes in the Forgotten Realms? Literally, they call them the Forgotten Folk. What is that fair? Like, just totally ignored. And hey, omniscient narrator God, you probably know this.
Yes.
Where could you find the gnomes in the original basic edition of D&D?
I've forgotten.
The monster manual.
Oh.
They were not a playable character even. We were monsters.
Ooh.
How's that fair? Yeah, right? So time for some equality here. That's all I'm saying. Now, granted, not every gnome is like aces. I mean, I'm a rock gnome, and I've got some great forest gnome friends. But, we've got river gnomes who basically, let's just face it, they're like the old school Aquaman. They can swim real good and talk to fish. But, they're crap on the land, right? And then you got the Sverfnoblet, or deep gnomes, who are evil little buggers, I'll admit. Especially the name. Try saying Sverfniblin. It's just evil itself. But whereas it makes them sound like they're some like subrace of Smurfs, which is exactly the stereotype gnomes definitely don't need, Smurf you very much. And finally, they even give our gods like lame names. Like, what's the name of the main gnome god there? Omniscient narrator God?
Mergerbler?
Pretty close.
Is it Garl Glittergold?
It is? Yeah.
Oh.
Might as well just call him like Sam
See?
Giggle Garden or
See?
Cutie Pie.
Obviously, I love gnomes.
Okay, you get a pass, mate. So, yeah, okay. So, now, get serious. Now, maybe you've heard the rumor that being so good at illusion and going unnoticed and giving our skill with invention, maybe we have a technologically advanced civilization down under, hidden from all the races. And the reason we seem so absent from the major historical events and campaigns is on purpose. Because we've actually manipulated all the events on the surface world, and we are the puppet masters of all the other races.
I hadn't heard that rumor.
Hey, maybe I just started it.
Okay.
Either way, I can neither confirm nor deny it. So, but my point is, it's time to respect the gnomes. Gnomes, equality for gnomes, gem. If you're a gnome or play a gnome and have experienced this sort of inequality or just being ignored, feel free to tweet us and hashtag that stuff. So, but anyway, that's all I really wanted to get off my chest. Thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Omniscient Narrator God.
Thank you, Sancho Panza. And now you are free to fade back into the shadow of forgetfulness.
Exactly.
Okay, fantastic. That was interesting. Another point of order. I didn't actually mention the name of our new Twitch channel. It is, of course, Dungeon Scrawlers, all one word. Twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers. I'm sure the mods in the chat will be telling you all about it, and we'll include links on the video. So,
yeah,
you and I had a link fight race.
We did.
Yeah, hit the little heart, hit the little bell, so we get notified when we add stuff.
Oh,
exactly.
Saying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're ready to go. So the Irregulars made their way back from the terrible battle underground. And by terrible battle, I mean trying to climb that ladder.
Mm-hmm.
It was a slippery ladder.
It was a slippery ladder.
Yeah.
Did
That
anybody
is
detect
true.
evil on the ladder? Because I think it's a slippery ladder.
Does
And
anyone have spell slots left?
That's a good point.
Good question.
essentially collapsed in exhaustion back at the Briar House, but not before Marcelea, Artemisia's stepmother, had departed, having told Artemisia, what? Do you recall what it was, Rhiannon?
Well, that she's not going to stay at the house. She had been, but then suddenly it changed because, Artemisia stood up for herself. So, and now Artemisia is very worried because, she stood up for herself, but it feels weird. What if it was wrong?
Okay, so we're picking up essentially the next morning at brunch You got back very late, so in order to get your full extended rest, you are sleeping late. Those of you who sleep, some of you only meditate. I'm looking at you, Caliph. So, the day dawns in Westgate, brisk and clear, and very cold despite the sun shining above. And the broadsheets, you can hear people shouting out in the street, hawking broadsheets, are talking about a disaster in the East End, which is the Shadow
Got it.
District
Didn't do
of
it.
Westgate.
Not us.
Definitely going to go
Didn't do
get
it,
one.
but feel a little bad.
Got it. Wasn't us.
And
breathe.
otherwise, what are you doing that morning?
So Stong would like to go talk to Artemisia. He wants to go track her down. But real quick before that, as he's washing his face in the morning, he's going to fill the basin full of water, and he's going to examine like the underside of his neck where the vampire bit him.
Okay.
Is the area still really like necrotic?
No, you have recovered your missing maximum hit points.
Excellent.
And you do have a scar, but it's mostly hidden by the half day's worth of neck beard that's grown out there.
Is it a cool scar?
Okay, hold on.
It's very important.
Roll
I've had
roll
many
the
Shaped
cool
like a
scars.
lightning bolt.
It's an average looking scar.
I need to get rid of this or make it look cooler somehow.
You can make it look cooler.
Sturge would like
You
to.
know, extend it.
Sturge would like to go up to Stong and
Little
just
smiley face.
Really, what makes
you-
a cool scar is a good story. So the people say, "How'd you get that scar?" And you say, "I fought off a vampire.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
killed her."
Fair enough. Stephen, what is Sturge doing?
He's just going to go up to Stong and say, "Are you concerned?"
Yes. I mean, I don't know much about vampires, but I've heard that they can pass on their condition through their bite.
I wonder how that works. If you don't mind, and he's going to put a finger up to Stong's face and just go.
Just
Do
check
half
his
orcs
teeth.
have fangs anyway?
I
Like,
was gonna say, doesn't he already have gigantic teeth?
They
has
have,
the
they have
fangs.
tusks.
yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, touch
not
on the
fangs.
bottom.
I don't know if you've got
Okay.
tusks down here. I have to assume you're. Okay, never mind. I'm getting into dentition nerdery. Doesn't matter. I'm sleeping in still.
To say no, I think you're good. You're good.
Whew. Yeah. I mean, I felt the sun hit me this morning and it felt pretty good.
that was
I'm
a good
okay.
test. That was a good test. I'm glad
Yeah.
you're still with us, Stong.
Yeah. So I need to talk to Artemisia before breakfast. So I'll just see you down there.
Yeah, I'll see you down there. I'm heading over to. Well, never mind. Go ahead.
So Stong's gonna go over and find Artemisia.
Okay.
Tries her room first.
Rhiannon, would Artemisia be up before
yes.
them? Okay.
Yeah, so she's down. She's gonna see if she can find Cyril, the cat.
Yep.
And she
You
can-
actually, okay. Yeah. You're gonna look for him. Okay.
and if she can find him, she's gonna. Well, actually, she will get the fish first. She will get fish from the kitchen, and have it on like a pretty plate. Like this is way more than you would normally do for a pet. But
Okay.
Artemisia is not really good at pets. So she's gonna get
Feels
this
so
beautiful plate
Artemisia.
and like lay the fish out on it.
Bo is there and he is preparing brunch. He says, "Oh yeah, of course, fish. I brought some fresh from the market this morning.
Oh, good.
Is everything okay?
Yes.
I didn't think you liked fish.
Oh no. It's
Oh.
for the cat.
Oh, there's a cat.
Yes. Don't chase it off.
Okay. Well,
It's-
that's
it's
good to know
black,
because
little white.
cats and I frequently get along. So I was hoping you'd get a cat eventually.
Well, we have. So
Fantastic. I look forward to meeting this cat.
That was so pure.
I'll make sure to reserve some of the fish stock to pour over whatever we end up feeding the cat other than fish.
Oh, good. Yes.
It's
I
good.
don't really know much about what cats eat, but fish.
Oh, yeah, I can take care of it. No problem.
Oh,
I'd be
good.
happy to do that for you, my lady.
This
So
guy's
she's
so
gonna
much better than Lilton.
she's gonna take the plate and like it smells, right? So she's
Mhm.
gonna like walk around the bottom floor.
Okay.
Your kitty? Kitty?
So at some point, Cecilia, you are disturbed when you're sleeping,
Mhm.
but not like enough to make you get up.
It is
Just
a lot
enough
to make
to-
me get up.
Enough to kind of woozily go, what? And you realize that there is something walking on top of you. Like 4 little feet are like
kind of like
on your chest
lazily like.
or on your back or whatever. Just
She thinks Cecilia sleeps on her stomach. That feels true. One of these
Yeah.
like.
Just
And
kinda,
then that's even funnier because it's like I can't reach my back.
yeah. Cyril is making biscuits on your back there.
Am I waking up to know
And he
that's
goes,
a cat?
Hey,
Ugh, what?
I'm hungry.
I forgot.
Okay, the kitchen's downstairs.
There's a door. Do I look like
When
I
did
have
you come in
opposable
here?
thumbs?
It's like push up, be like, when did you come in here?
When you came in here.
Okay, I really didn't see that happening.
Yeah,
Is
I
there-
know. I'm a cat.
Okay.
Did I mention I was hungry?
Yep.
I heard that one. I'm just gonna go back to sleep.
Oh.
Hey, you need to learn to anticipate my needs.
Oh my god, Jigs!
And then he goes, what? And he kind of perks up and his nose twitches. He's like, I smell something really good.
Okay.
And then he goes to the door and he starts scratching at the door.
Jigs! Jigs in here?
Jig's gonna open the
So
door.
I'm gonna try it.
down in the basement, in fact,
Mhm.
Rogar is sleeping there and Jigs is curled up at his feet.
Dang it. I'm gonna have to get out of bed.
And Roomba is inching its way toward Jigs's nose. Just
Roomba.
that's
Got
right.
a Roomba too.
With the
Oh,
gelatinous cube.
whoa.
Oh, that's eerie. It's
Yeah.
it's disappearing into your background.
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
Three-dimensional
because your
cube.
your background is picking it up, Randy. It's
That's
awesome.
It
That
ate
is
your
awesome.
face.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, so the cube is getting
Yeah.
it's getting dangerously close
Yes.
to Jigs's nose. It's like that far away. It's
Oh no.
Jig goes,
What happens if you inhale gelatinous cube? Do you just like suck bits
Nothing
of it
good.
in, or
Nothing good.
uh,
Right. Okay. So I still awake.
impaired lung function is what you get. Anyway.
Oh, no.
All right. Yeah, Jigs wakes up at the same time that Rogar does.
Right.
Mostly because he sneezed and blew Roomba back a few inches.
Well, okay. I'm like, oh no. I'm just used to this.
Shakes
Like, taking him
himself.
off. He's always trying to get in my face too.
Oh yeah.
Just normal. Set him off in the corner. Takes
Jigs
him a while
looks
to
at
get
the
anywhere.
Jigs looks at Roomba suspiciously.
Aye. So
Aye.
I'm a little bit tired because I got up a little earlier pre-dawn and made a little venture out into the city.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
What'd you do?
aye. Well, I might have. I mean, I heard a rumor that somebody went down near the Temple District and might have used their new stone shaping ability to meld a certain head of the goddess Shar onto the body of like a pig, and then
Oh boy.
with the carving,
We're gonna have to fight an avatar sooner or later, aren't we?
eat it Shar
Oh,
on it. But you know, and then I came back to the house. Crawl back into bed. So I'm stretching. I'm feeling pretty good right now, and I'll rub Jig's head. I'll thank him because you know we had another good talk last night. I won't go into detail. It's just a nice long talk. He's really good listening. because he don't talk back, and
He's a good listener.
he's a very good listener,
Mhm.
and I don't feel guilty unburdening myself upon him. So yeah, so let's go get some scran. I could use a bit. I've used quite a bit of energy last couple of days.
You smell food cooking and wafting down, and you also hear footsteps and someone saying, "Cyril, Cyril." It's Artemisia. Cyril.
And my goal is I want to go and have a quick chat with Caliph when I have the opportunity.
Okay, Jigs goes and sits next to the stairs leading up, as though waiting for you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Again.
I get dressed. Hi, and I go up and I let him out.
The animals in this house are not pulling their weight.
I check
Animals in this house are unjustly held in place by the use of closed doors.
Hi.
I'll just make some pet doors with, like, a judiciously applied Eldritch Blast.
The scratching is really irritating, by the way,
like,
Cecilia.
tell me about it. It was irritating the first time he did it.
Okay.
And I make sure that Ruma didn't follow it or hitch a ride on my shoulder or anything like likes to do, that little scamp.
Okay. Yep, you head up to go look for Caliph. Caliph, where are you and what are you up to?
Caliph is actually not in the house.
Where is she? Do we know?
She finished trancing and then she went off to go look after Dumpling.
Okay.
This Dumpling stable isn't anywhere near, the part of the city that mysteriously collapsed for reasons, who knows why. But, still some worry just in case. So she just wants to go and make sure Dumpling is safe. And,
Dumpling looks very pleased to see you.
All right, let's see. I took some sugar here somewhere. Here you go.
Dumpling looks extra pleased to see you.
Good.
And a little restless, like the horse wants to get out and do something.
I was gonna say, I think we didn't quite establish for people who may have forgotten who Dumpling is.
Oh yeah.
Just your homicidal horse.
My homicidal elven warhorse.
Yeah.
Yes, as a squishy blade singer, Caliph has an elven warhorse. It makes perfect sense.
Yep.
I also have enjoyed
Animal handling skills.
this
Such a good
episode.
writer.
This episode is turning into Westgate Irregulars Stardew Valley for a few minutes. So we all check on our animals.
Yeah, so Dumpling's getting restless, so she's gonna, I guess, saddle her up and take her out for a brisk ride, and maybe if she happens to wander by the Shao section of the city, can see what's happening over there.
Okay. Let's say that you do, in fact, because I picked up on the hint. So yes, you end up toward the Shao section of the city, the East End, and there appear to be there's some sort of concerted effort to rescue people who have been caught by collapsing buildings, and search and rescue going on. It appears that several buildings collapsed for unknown reasons during the night. There are hurt, dust-covered people, some wandering around the streets looking dazed and confused. And you see a great number of folk in wearing this symbol of a curvy dagger wreathed in flame, who are working on the search and rescue efforts.
Curvy dagger.
Does she recognize what that symbol is of?
That is the symbol of House Bleth,
That was
which is one of the mercantile houses in the city. And the Irregulars recently encountered the matriarch of House Bleth, Lady Regante Bleth, who kind of watched over Mirabelle for a while. And she is sort of friends with Marcelea, sort of. Yeah, she has very vibrant red hair. She is actually present directing some of the efforts.
Caliph is going to go over and ask what happened. It's like, it looks like some terrible tragedy happened. Does anyone know why or who? Not us.
Especially
Okay.
who. Very important.
Okay. Well, at first, like the guards stop you, but Regante recognizes you as one of the irregulars, and she says, "Ah, Lady Amkir, is it? Yes. Come, join me. There was a collapse last night, and we of House Bleth are aiding with the rescue efforts."
This looks awful. What happened?
No one really knows. There was some kind of some kind of weakness, perhaps in the sewer system.
Bearing
a-
statue.
A chamber collapsed, and many
little
people are
bearing
injured.
statue.
Several are dead.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Can we help in any way?
You specifically, or do you mean you and the
Well,
irregulars?
All of
Or
us.
were you also speaking of the horse? She examines your horse appreciatively and she says, "Wow, a very strong and temperamental mount you have here."
Are you temperamental? Yeah, you're temperamental. But no, I was speaking for all of the irregulars. I mean, we had nothing to do with this, but it really is such a tragedy. We feel like anything we can do to help.
Well, as you're having this conversation, there is a commotion and a group of folk come through the crowd of House Bleth workers who move aside. They are Shao folk in robes, wearing Shao weaponry, and escorting a very severe-looking Shao woman who walks right up to Regante and says, "Your efforts here are not welcome. Please leave this place now." And Regante says, "Well, Bleth is barely welcome here anyway." And she turns to the woman and kind of bows to her a little bit and says, "Honorable Naikata, we are here to aid. We have no interest." And the woman cuts her off and says, "I know why you are here. You are here to score political points in your efforts to take the Cromarchy back for House Bleth." And Regante looks a little like, well, she didn't expect it to be put that directly. And the woman says, "We of the Goto clan protect the East End, and we can protect our own. You must leave." And she looks at Caliph and says, I do not know your face."
I'm just a passerby. I'm here to help. That's all.
"For what purpose?"
Because why not? Why should we not give aid if it's wanted?
Make a charisma check.
Oh dear.
Kid, what is your charisma?
0.
Oh.
Why are you the one doing this?
But I rolled a 16.
She's saying her modifier.
No,
My
I know.
modifier.
Oh my god!
Not her charisma
If
score.
your actual
No way she
charisma
got
score
charisma
was
0.
0,
Yeah.
we would have to sit down and have a conversation about how you build your characters because that shouldn't happen.
Min-maxing to the extreme.
I think at that point you've made a mistake. There's a math error.
Charisma is your strength of self and will, right? If you had a charisma of 1, you're basically an animal, and if you had a charisma of 0, you're an object. Like you don't have a self.
Like I'm
Okay.
saying, math
She's
errors.
a sack of feathers. She's a
Yeah. Okay,
Reveal.
you got a 16.
rolled a 16.
Okay. The woman nods slightly and says, "You may stay if you have worthy abilities.
Great.
What is your name?"
Caliph Amakir, lady.
And I am Naikata Goto, the leader of the Goto clan, and on the merchant council of this city that cares nothing for us.
Well, it is an honor to meet you, and me and my friends would be glad to help out in any way you think, in any way that we could, that you deem that you think we can help out.
Kind of starstruck.
Very well.
It's the 10.
She looks balefully at Regante and says, "Leave," and then starts heading away. Her guards look at you like, "Yes, you can come with us." They're wearing sashes that depict some kind of polearm with like a curved blade at the top. It's a naginata that has a red feather affixed to it.
I hope they don't ask her to like lift
Yeah.
anything. But
Lift this beam or leave.
You just shatter
Bye.
everything.
Okay. She's gonna show you around some of the devastation and fill you in on some information. We'll go back to
Okay.
Briar House here.
Well, before
yeah,
before
go
that,
ahead.
can Caleb like send a messenger back saying like, "Hey guys, we can help here
Come
in
lift
this
beams.
we can lift beams zone of destruction. Who knows how it happened?"
Okay, so you
It really
you-
is Stardew Valley. We're gonna build a building now.
Stardew. Yeah, it feels
I'm
like
kidding.
Stardew Valley. Just lifting wood and building buildings. All right.
Hey, you find a coin messenger and you give him that message and say, "Deliver this to Briar House," and he takes off running. Okay.
All the jobs in this city are like coin blank. Coin
Yeah.
boy, coin messenger.
Thriving gig economy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Westgate, they want you to know right up front. Pay me.
That's right.
Pretty
No
much
ambiguity.
Westgate, yeah. City of Coins. Question, just out of curiosity, like when you described the House Bleth symbol and it was basically a flaming dagger,
Yep.
isn't is the gang like that runs around down there on the dock stuff the Fire Knives?
The
or is
fire
that
knives. Yes.
Any relation?
Oh,
Or I
yes.
guess. Okay.
Okay. The fire knives and House Bleth are kind of the same thing, at least in terms of Westgate society and history. But House Bleth has been cleaning up its image a little bit in the last 10 years. There was a huge gang war, actually, that mostly eroded the power of the former Cromark, John Demikar Bleth, who was Regante's father. And he is now an old man who cannot leave his bed. Essentially, he's bedridden and has no political power to speak of. She was the heir who came in to sort of save the family, but by then it was too late. Most of their power base had been killed during this series of gang wars in the city, which was about 10 years ago. And so House Bleth still exists, but they've tried to clean up their act a bit, if that makes sense. There are still fire knives active in the city, but they tend to be House Bleth dismisses them as kind of outliers and hot-blooded youths. The major like professional hitmen of House Bleth have all been killed or driven out of the city, largely speaking, at least as far as you know.
far
That's
as
what
I know.
they say.
That's what they say.
So they're getting all in bed with Marcelea, hoping she can help them advance their cause of regaining power.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean,
Unknown.
all that without a history check. It's common knowledge.
It is pretty common knowledge. Like you
Yeah.
would only have to live in Westgate for a couple of 10 days for someone to tell you all about the fire knives and the 9 golden swords. The 9 golden swords were a gang out of the East End that the fire knives fought with. So that is part of why there's so much tension between those two groups.
Are we stepping into the middle of a gang war? And
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, back at Briar House.
That's a little less Stardew.
Yeah.
Artemisia, you find the door to Cecilia's room and hear scratching on the other side.
Open it up.
Okay.
I think you have opened it up right as Cecilia has rolled out of bed to go open the door.
Okay. Cyril bounds out of the room
Oh my god.
and then sits looking up at you.
Hello, cat.
Meow.
I have food for you. I think it is the food you would like.
He rubs
She
up
puts it
against
down.
your leg.
Can I tell what he's meowing?
He's like, oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's his thing.
Oh my god, just
That's
give
it,
him
that's
the
the
fish. Beast speech, blessing and a curse.
He starts chomping down on it.
Okay. Well, she's gonna like kneel down and like see if he'll let her like kind of pet him and feel if he has any mats or if he needs like grooming or.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh, she's
You can
not
do it with
trained in that.
advantage since
Oh, okay.
since you gave him food.
Okay.
But he is a cat, so you still need to make the check.
I want to get a whole menagerie of pets so that Eric has to play like a monkey.
Well, with
pig
advantage, one of them is a dirty 20. So.
Ooh,
Oh.
nice.
Okay, yes, you can pet him, and he even starts purring.
Yay!
He does have a series of mats, however. Like, he was not a very well-maintained cat
Okay.
for however long he was in that horrible dark place.
Well, Artemisia is going to kind of like lean, or if she didn't shut the door, so if the Cecilia hasn't shut the door, she's going to lean around the door and be like, Cecilia, will you like tell the cat something for me? If you're up, it looked like you were up.
I'm up now.
The cat is meowing, and the meowing sounds like yeah, it's good, so good.
Meow back, like Cyril, keep it to yourself.
And he's like, you can tell her that I can understand her.
You can?
Yeah, I just can't speak with her.
Okay, weird. Okay, you can talk common to him. He understands it.
Oh.
Which means,
Okay.
why am I meowing to you?
I don't know. Maybe because it was funny.
Okay, so Artemisia is going to be like, so Cat, I'm delighted to have you here, and
His name is Cyril.
Cyril.
As I stomp by, putting my robe on.
Would you let me use like a brush and a comb, and maybe like I wouldn't like put you in a bath, but like just like I have some lotions and like anything that you might like to like so you can be clean and smell good and feel good.
Oh my god, Artemisia wants to make little kitty outfits, doesn't she?
No.
Did you say
Whatever,
bath?
you're a liar. Insight check.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, you know what? He goes, meow. And he looks back to Cecilia. He's like, it can't be that bad, right? So
Getting breakfast.
the next scene.
Is somebody killing a cat somewhere?
It's not my
Artemisia,
cat.
are you using magic to clean the cat?
Well, if he doesn't run away, yes, she is going to press to clean him.
Okay.
I love that Artemisia's gonna put lotion on the cat.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
what
mean,
you do to like hair, right?
You could
So-
clean the cat by hand.
I follow Artemisia's logic train perfectly.
Yep.
That's one thing I love about it.
All right. Stong, you come upon Artemisia as she is prestidigitating the cat clean.
Okay. He looks at her and then he helps her, just shrugs, and then like leans over and helps her press to clean the cat.
Make an animal handling check.
I see.
You do not have advantage.
I see.
I'm gonna get toast and come up and watch this show. So stand there and be like,
That's a 14.
Oh, okay. The cat on your finger, and then you take 1 point of damage. and then it flees.
With a 14?
Hmm.
My
Cats are
AC
difficult.
Too bad you didn't extend your scar.
Yeah. You know, I'm not Kalith, so it didn't down me. But that kind of hurt. And he like looks at his finger and he goes, ow. Whoa. Artemisia.
I'm
I've been
sorry.
looking for you. I wanna
Okay.
Chat with you real quick.
I'm gonna go after the cat so that they
Okay.
can have this moment alone.
Okay.
So Stong looks around to see that he and Artemisia are alone. Are we alone now? No cats, no people?
You think so?
Okay. And he's going to say, so in the past, you used a lot of sleep spells and you were generally like pretty good and gentle. But I've noticed since the Colosseum, you had like this rage, this like urge to just unleash and attack things. And I guess, you know, you've really gone full offense. Like you're kind of offensive. And I think that tonight I noticed that you really succeeded in offending your mother, your stepmother.
Oh.
I don't know what you did or what you said, but I noticed that like for the first time since I met her, her facade cracked and I think you did something that really hurt her feelings.
Oh. Um I hadn't met, well, I mean, I'm sorry that, you know, my spell hurt you and Sturge, and I've been trying to not do that as much. But and I didn't intend to hurt my stepmother, despite what my sister is always saying. It's I simply want her to understand me, and uh, it's I wish there was a way to make her understand me that didn't hurt her. So I mean, I noticed she was going to come stay here, which I wasn't entirely sure about. My house is not up to her standards. And then she wasn't. But she's very powerful and she can take care of herself. So I don't think that she's in danger. Uh, though they did capture her in the first place, but she's forewarned now.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So
I don't know what to do about it.
I want to just let you know that
Yeah.
I can't speak for Sturge, but every time you lightning bolted me, I've given you my consent. So totally cool.
Okay.
I've angled myself in such a way that hopefully you gave me a cool scar while you were doing it to me. But I want to say, you know, on the problem with you and your mom, your stepmom, if you wanted to do some parent-child role play, I would be totally willing to play the part of your stepmother. And you can talk to me, and I'll let you know if you broke my heart.
This can only go well.
Oh my god.
Dom
boy.
with his orcish understanding of family dynamics.
Well, I don't know what I would say. Do you think Rogar might have advice? Like if you were to play my stepmother and I was to get advice from Rogar as to what to say to you?
So I should play your stepmother, and Rogar would play you, and then you could watch and learn some things.
Yes, that.
Okay. Anything to help.
If Rogar is willing.
Does Sturge hear this conversation?
Well,
I hope so.
it's in the upper floor hallway.
Mm.
So and his room is off the upper floor. So I mean, it probably depends if he like listens at his keyhole.
You're hiding in the shadows.
It is Sturge.
Right?
He's probably listening. Yes. He's.
So if you want her to continue to let you stay in the house,
Yeah.
you should never admit that you were listening in.
No, but he'll come out and he'll say, "Oh, am I interrupting something?"
Stong and I were just talking about my stepmother and the cat. The cat was here too.
I was pretending to be her stepmother. She was pretending to be herself.
Oh, can I see that? Go ahead and give her a couple lines. I'd like to see how your technique.
It's not a participation activity.
He's an actor. He's going to give you notes.
Dear stepdaughter, I am very good at making money, but I don't care what you feel. Come back home. Now.
Bravo.
Your friends are dumb, except for the half-orc.
Got right to the essence of her.
Artemisia, you performed an act of tough love, and I think you needed to.
Oh.
I don't know if Stong would agree, but I think that was what your mother needed. Now consider all the time she's hurt you. She needed to see that you are a person, and it might hurt a little at first, but that's part of learning, and even someone like her needs to learn, and she has a very thick skin. If you got under it, well, she'll pay attention now. Stone may have another opinion, but I've had some experience myself with difficult situations, and it seems that sometimes you simply must draw blood to get through.
Or you need to apply emotional lotion to her tough skin.
Oh, Rogar! Also here in this room. When did you come in?
Standing in the hallway.
So sneaky. That dude.
I came up looking for Kalith.
I haven't seen her.
Her looks like her room's empty, so maybe she went out this morning.
Kalith's door is unlocked. Just
I'll
saying.
check for her. Sturge will go over and yes, it's unlocked. He'll poke his head in. No, she's gone. Oh, look at this book.
Hey, I don't think she'd want you in her room, lad.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Oh, right, you're right. I'll just
respect everybody's privacy in this house.
Oh,
but I think. Okay, wait. Where did I go? Did I go back down? Did I chase the cat downstairs, or did I chase it like into the back rooms? Just out of curiosity.
You chased it into the back rooms.
Okay. So I can kind of hear that. Stick my
house
hand
has the thinnest walls.
Make sure that's not that book that sucked her in, because that's supposed to stay in that chest.
Oh.
But I don't trust her not to get it out.
Is it? Is it the bad book?
I mean, actually, technically, you put the book in the room, so I don't know. Does she have the bad book on her desk?
No, I think she keeps the bad book safely sealed away somewhere.
Varys keeps the book sealed away.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we gave it to Varys.
The cursed captain's log.
Right.
Yeah, Kalith owns a cursed book.
The cat did run into Kayla's empty room, though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm in Kayla's empty room.
Right.
Trying to get the cat out from under the bed.
Which has a number of golden feathers on the floor.
What is going on with her?
I don't know.
Is she molting? Do Avarials molt?
Can a bird get mange?
Can I roll to see if I know if Avarials molt?
I mean, I'm not in the room. I'm not gonna.
Only Cecilia's in the room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sturge stuck his head in the door.
Oh.
Which is, I assume, when I'm like, what is happening with Caliph? Like, Cyril, get out from under there. Nobody's gonna wash you anymore.
Are you sure?
After that display, yes.
I'm not convinced.
Here, kitty.
I'm pretty sure there's more fish.
Oh. Can I bat at the big one's, the big nose?
Sure, why not? Sturge, come here.
Yes.
Meow.
The cat wants to tell you something.
Oh, what a lovely little kitty. Lovely
bat.
kitty.
Sturge, you take 1 point of damage.
Cyril, no claws.
Aw.
Sturge turns to Cecilia and says, "You told it to do that, didn't you?"
Man, no. The cat told me it was going to do that. I figured it was better than having him jump and climb up your lovely shirt.
Nah, well, these feathers are attractive to kitty cats, I suppose. I should have known.
Also, this thing.
He's gonna put a little piece of gauze on the bloody spot, and he's just gonna be like a little floating cotton ball on the end of his nose.
So you're putting gauze on the claws schnoz wound?
I'm not going to snoop in Kayla's room because I'm not that kind of the friend, but I am looking under her bed for the cat. And do I happen to notice anything while I'm looking under her bed for the cat? That might explain why she's, molting everywhere.
Make an investigation check.
Mounds of molted feathers swept under the bed.
That's a dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay, you find a few more feathers. You find some books that she shoved under the bed. You find a pouch with a few coins in it, which she claimed from the doppelganger.
You can keep that. Okay.
I don't know. Did they find anything else of particular relevance, Caliph?
Well,
I'm not digging in your mattress or anything.
You do see the book that you gave Caliph.
The book?
Wasn't there a book? It's like
the notebook with the pages missing. The souvenir from when I was
giving gifts to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
The souvenir
right,
from
okay.
my gap year where I got sucked into the Feywild to fight red wizards. Nobody needs to know about that. It's boring.
Yeah. And it's got bookmarks in it now.
What a lovely
Okay.
cat.
Pretty sure that wasn't anything really big deal.
No big deal.
Forgot about my bag of teeth.
Best bag of
I
teeth
see.
anybody ever gave you.
Let's see.
Best. Thank you.
Artemisia got the like ugly ass necklace, right?
It was a dragon
Oh.
talon necklace. I thought you would
okay.
appreciate it. Since
Wow.
you're
Oh.
embracing your heritage and
That's
such.
cool.
Ston got a bone flute.
Add it
Sturge
to your
can't remember.
repertoire.
There's also like a couple little finger bones, I guess, like tucked under the mattress, like between the mattress and the frame.
What?
You're into weird stuff.
Like it looks like she was sort of looking at them right before she just like tranced or whatever, and then she just sort of stuck them there because she was too lazy to get out of the bed or something.
Okay. I'm gonna file this
see.
information away. I'm not gonna root through her stuff. Because again, I'm not that kind of friend. But I am gonna try to haul Cyril out.
Okay.
Unless he popped out to Bat Sturge's nose, sorry. So I'll just be like, come on. Go down to
All
the
right,
kitchen and
yep.
get more fish, I guess.
He comes out and you can carry him.
Okay.
He's like, oh, more fish.
Close the door, since apparently that's the cat barrier. Cecilia understands now.
Ah, curses. You run into Rogar and Jigs on the way to the sitting room.
I scratched Jigs' head. Jigs being my awesome wolf thing.
He seems
Follow me
pleased
here.
to see you. You all gather downstairs for brunch. Okay.
Sturge is going to spread out a bunch of the notebooks that we recovered, and if anyone wants to look at them, he's going to start paging through.
Did we end up getting away with the map where Briar House is circled?
Yes. Yes.
Because Artemisia is not that interested until she sees that map. And then she's like, wait, no. Something going on here, not just Sturge being paranoid.
Okay. Sturge, go ahead and make an investigation check, please.
Okay.
See if you glean anything from all these notes and such.
Okay. That's 17.
Okay.
Nice.
It does seem that the Night Mass were tracking potential threats or inconveniences for them.
Oh, we're a potential threat.
Or
And
I think we were an
Inconvenience.
inconvenience. Then we killed the
and
vampire.
Briar House is marked as potential danger.
Hmm.
Like
Turns out they were
agents
right.
are dissuaded from going there. or perhaps it could be targeted at some point. There's also information on Briar House in general, like its security and the number of servants that live there, and the best ways in and out. Apparently, the entrance in the basement is listed as blocked.
Well, that's good.
Whoa, this feels like a spy or something. Info about the house.
Well, I mean, so the basement entrance, they could just go like try it, and the number of servants you could see by like watching the house.
What else? What do they think is the easiest way in?
Front door, because someone will answer it.
Yeah, basically, all the doors, they are not magically warded. It says unlikely to be magically warded.
If we have to put words on the doors, then we're gonna have to remember to turn them off when we come in so they don't go off.
No,
It's really exhausting.
You don't have to do that. You can make certain people not set them off.
Caleb knows a lock.
Okay, but I feel like Artemisia's gonna set it so that you set them off, so you don't sneak around.
Okay. So you're just starting to look into this information when there is a knock at the front door, and
blast ready.
Varys walks out to go get the door, and he looks at you.
It's
with the Eldritch Blast being ready.
I got your back, buddy. We go follow behind.
He arches one eyebrow and says, "Yes, mistress, of course."
I'm gonna go down and check the basement entrance, make sure it's still secured.
We're not about to get raided.
And there's like a big barrel on top of it, I think. It's very, very heavy. Okay, well, Varys opens the door and you find a coin messenger standing on the porch. And he says, "I have a message to deliver to this place."
From whom?
From a really pretty lady with golden wings.
Oh, it's Caleb.
Or is it a doppelganger? No.
It feels like a trap.
Everything feels like a trap now.
Close the door. Lock it.
She is in the East End and told me to come get you to come and help.
Oh, the collapse. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
So either we go and we help people, or we go and it's a trap and we murder a bunch more night masks. I'm ready.
Well, and I mean,
Coinland holds out his hand.
Didn't she pay? Oh, of course, no, she didn't pay.
Let's give him a high five. Varys is the one who opened the door.
Varys is like, "Yes, of course." Puts some coins into the lad's hand.
Poor sir.
And the lad says, "Oh, good. Can I interest you in a broadsheet?" He just pulls out.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. He hands that over to Sturge.
Man.
Holds out his hand.
Stone's going to say, "Can I interest you in some musical sheets?" And I offer him one of my songs.
No.
Can I make a roll? Can I try to like persuade him?
Yes.
All right.
You can do that.
Time to make some money. Oh God.
This is when you realize you
Gotta
employ your
hustle.
manager for reasons.
What'd you get?
Sure, 13.
He says, we'll call it even.
Yeah. Thanks, Don.
And then he scampers off with your music. in
I
hand.
wink at Sturge. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Sturge will just touch his nose in response.
You hit the cat scratch.
And then he's going to start reading the news aloud.
Okay.
Are we not going to go help Caleb?
We should help our friend.
We should go. Help. I mean, I was thinking last night, but we were all so exhausted, like we wouldn't have been any help. So, and I should have remembered it this morning, but we should go.
I'll go get dressed while Sturge reads the news to you.
So Bo shows up with like this big platter of fish and root vegetables and stuff that he's cooked. And he's like, "Aha, brunches. Where are you all going?"
Ooh,
Wrap it up.
good.
Eat on the run.
Okay.
I mean, Artemisia like is incapable of stuffing food into her face, but she is going to try to like take a couple bites.
We can shove it into the bag of holding.
No.
No.
Wouldn't it
Everything
just,
we
like,
put
all
in that'll
fall on the
smell-
floor in there?
Okay.
There's no
Smell
The
like
books are
fish.
out, right? It's fine.
Everything will come out.
Man, Stong, it's your bag of holding.
Oh,
Yes. So if you want to do it,
Let's just eat. We need to eat to strength to help the Eastenders. Get our strength, center ourselves.
All right.
Some of them might appreciate the extra food, so he's definitely going to put the rest of the food into the bag.
And Rogar checks with Varys if there's an extra pair of like garden shears, because he's not going to go out again without some ability to go through a bunch of, say, 5-foot plants.
Does he look at Stong? Does he really look at Stong?
Machete.
Varys does look at
he
Stong.
notably avoids your eyes while he's kindly asking Varys if he has a spare pair of garden
It's a good thought.
shears.
It's a good thought.
Varys looks back to you and he says, well, we have one pair of shears and they are in use for the garden, of course.
Well, let me borrow them, and I'm sure we can find you another pair.
He looks at Artemisia.
For
May I
today.
borrow them? Thank you.
Of course. And he goes and gets them for you and brings them back.
Thank you. I'll leave it to my
Right.
supplies.
I'm dressed.
Stong goes to fetch Mirabelle and then comes back downstairs.
Well, and Artemisia, she needs to wear the right clothes to go out, so she'll change real
So
quick.
1 hour later.
No, the like adventuring outfit.
I
Okay.
feel like Artemisia is the kind of
Goes
person that
quick.
goes 5 minutes, and then 20 minutes later she comes down and she's impeccable, and she's like, "Okay,
It's worth
and you're like,
it.
"That's
All
5
right.
minutes."
So you're all prepping to go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the East End, conflict is a brewing between the Fire Knives and the native Eastenders. And we will get back to that at the end of and when we come back from our break.
Mm.
So we're going to take our break. We'll do the interview plus one. Mods, go ahead and run a poll for who should join me for the interview plus one. Who did we have last week? We had Aaron
Aaron.
last week. So
Not me.
everyone is fair game except for Aaron. So don't go away. We'll be back in about 5 or 7 minutes. 7:40 our time is when I'm hoping to start the interview. So see you then.
Eric.
Cheers.
wait, Eric,
Yes.
do the reminder again.
New
Oh.
channel.
There is,
Holy
yes,
cow.
I was going to remind everyone. Yes, we are going to be moving to our new channel, twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers, all one word. And our first live show will be on May 13th. But there should be some videos and stuff that are showing up before then, too. So you can go and get yourself acclimated and get ready to join us on that new exciting adventure. So
Aye.
it'll be the same Westgate Irregulars exciting adventure, but it'll be exciting. So
Aye.
I'll see you in a few minutes. Don't go away.
Okay.
Bye. Hail and well met. Welcome back to the interview plus one, this time with Emily Tang. Yay. All right. Caleb, the one who is out adventuring in this session.
And definitely not trying to lift anything too heavy.
That's good. Well, I mean, maybe with magic, right? That's feasible. Okay. So I have some questions for you, but why don't you just kind of tell us how things are going for Caleb and what you how you anticipate this going?
You mean the whole relief effort?
I do.
She's probably just using floating disc right now to help carry away rubble.
Hmm.
She's not going to be lifting an actual finger, but she's going to be lifting some magical fingers to lift actual stones.
So you think it's going to go well, that you're going to be helpful and
Oh yeah, she definitely wants to help.
good.
She's all about helping and massaging her guilt for causing yet another incident that cost people lives.
Excellent. So I'm going to get into some questions for Caleb and for you, Emily, as a person. Again, remember, her thoughts and opinions do not reflect those of Wizards of the Coast. Important for some of these questions. So the first question is, where do you, Emily, recommend a newbie start with Dungeons and Dragons?
This one I feel like is more of a you question.
Maybe, but it's directed to you by Bookman Oz, which I assume is Australia.
In terms of lore or just like playing?
I don't know. It didn't really specify. I think let's interpret it to be. I've heard about this cool Dungeons and Dragons game. They play it on this stream I love called Westgate Irregulars or the Dungeon Scrawlers, whichever it's called. It's called Dungeon Scrawlers. And I'd like to get a game together myself. How should I do that? Do you have any hints or suggestions?
This one really is more of yours. I'm more
Okay.
Other people start a game, I'll join.
Well, there are lots of resources online. I got into playing D&D up here in Seattle when I moved here through a D&D meetup. I think that's still active. You can also Google where do I find a D&D group. D&D is one of those games that is best learned by doing. When you sit at the table and people are explaining to you how things work and you're, attacking dragons and finding treasures, that's really the best way to get a real sense for how the game works. If you're a newbie and you've never played D&D before, it's probably better to stick with something relatively simple in terms of mechanical use, like a fighter tends to be pretty straightforward. A cleric tends to be pretty straightforward if you remember to use healing magic. Rogues are a little bit more complicated, but still very fun. It's just, you can let your imagination go and determine which direction you want your character to go. Let's see. So the next question, also from Bookman Australia, is why do you like D&D? So I think this one is for both of us, and I think I'll let Emily answer it first.
I don't know. So, I mean, two really big reasons. One is I just like playing it and I like doing all this crazy stuff and inhabiting characters that are not me and seeing how far I can push them. And the other part is just I really like the people I play with, and because they're really awesome and they make me laugh, and I hope I make them laugh too, and not just like, oh, I'm polite laughing at you. But no, it's just the ability to hang out with all these awesome people and then play this game where we're just building it together and have no idea where it's going. No one has any idea where we're going except for the DM.
Yeah, it might seem like I have a plan, but I don't always. A lot of this game is truly based on your reactions and what you do with your characters, what you choose to look for, and it's a very sandbox sort of game. Not all D&D games are like that. Some are much more on the rails, telling you, here's your mission, here's what you got to go do, here's the quest, you defeated the dragon, saved the kingdom, etc. But this is much more expansive and collaborative. And that leads into what I like about D&D, which is that I like to put together stories from multiple people and see all of our creative visions coming together to forge a single experience that we all get to enjoy. It's the social aspect and the collaborative aspect. That's what really appeals to me about it. And the same can be said for a lot of RPGs, but D&D just has this kind of this long-standing history to it, and it, I don't know, it just speaks to me. Maybe because I've been playing it for 25 years now, but I don't know. It's just really fun. So I think we like D&D for about the same reason, really. Okay. Proquar asks, will the Dungeon Scrawlers still be here on Gen Con TV? I'm not sure exactly, but I think Gen Con is planning to still host the videos that we have produced here on Gen Con. And they will be viewable as Twitch replays, or you can watch them on our YouTube channel or on the Gen Con YouTube channel, as long as they're hosted there. I don't know exactly what the details are. Once we start streaming videos on our own Twitch channel, I don't expect that they will also be on Gen Con Twitch, but we'll see. We'll see how that works out. It's partly their decision, and we haven't made that decision yet. Okay. Question for Emily. What style of blade singer is Kalith? In the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide, there are several different types. Oh, you're going to put her on the spot like this, are you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I wrote this down somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Because
I left my Sword Coast Adventures Guide inside the house too. Oh no. All right. While she's looking for that, let me know if you find that, Emily.
particularly Googling right now.
So Kalith is a classic sort of blade singer, very much into swords and magic in the standard Armathor sort of tradition. There is a particular name for her school, which she will find for us in a moment.
Cat family.
Thinking. Which?
Cat family.
The cat. Okay, the school of the cat.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Seems like a good one.
I think specifically the lion style.
The lion style. And as I understand it, Kalith comes from a family of blade singers. Is that correct, Emily? Can you tell us anything about them?
Yeah, she comes from a very prestigious family who's upheld this tradition of blade singing down through the generations, and it's one that's been traditionally passed down from the to all the children of the line. But there's always going to be whoever, the one that's the most gifted, the most talented, who's chosen to really like bear the torch and is expected to really just carry on the tradition for the next generation. This generation, it is not Kalith.
How does that pressure translate into her life? And will we be seeing some of that?
I expect that will definitely be showing up.
We're both being a little bit coy here, but there have been discussions and there are plans. So stay tuned because you will learn more about Kalith and blade singing in general. All right. Question from Seldarine, one of our mods. I have to ask, Emily, who is your favorite D&D god?
All these questions.
Please say Shar. No?
Shar's after the last session, it's like, oh, Shar seems pretty interesting.
Shar sucks.
I heard the voice of Shar and Lar. But no, I gotta admit, I'm not terribly familiar with the D&D gods. The one I probably know the best is Lolth. So default gotta say Lolth.
Well, that's a good answer. Lolth is a pretty cool and pretty terrifying goddess. So yes. All right. What is Kalith's favorite dessert?
Shaved ice with brown sugar and condensed milk on top.
Awesome.
She comes from these really cold mountain places. She's not a fan of the heat, so it's just like a nice big bowl of shaved ice. Very refreshing. Reminds her of home.
Oh, how nice. All right. How much? Okay, this is from Raconnoisseur. That's a mashup of the words raccoon and connoisseur, which is pretty great. How much of your character's personality is planned and how much is developed in game?
So I'm very much a pantser. I'll start with like a very basic outline and then just make up everything as I go along. So
would you say Kayla has evolved considerably from your original plan for her?
Yeah, definitely. Like before, she was definitely supposed to be much more like, well, she still is socially awkward, but like way more socially awkward and just extremely temperamental and just like super focused on like books and gaining knowledge and doesn't really care about people. But I think she's definitely evolved from that. She actually cares about other people now. She feels guilt when she does bad things to them.
That's good. So she's developed a conscience. Nice.
The shadiness has stuck around since the beginning, though.
That is true. I can confirm. So that's all we have for questions. So I think we're gonna get back into the game. Thank you, Emily. We look forward to seeing more about Calith and learning more about her mysteries. And hopefully, she does not go down immediately in the next combat.
I wouldn't bet on that.
And we're back. So the Irregulars are headed toward the East End. And meanwhile, Calith, you have spent the last hour or so helping with the efforts to find and rescue people who were victims of the collapse. And as you did so, the workers from House Bleth have not gone away. Regante has commanded them to stay, but the Eastenders don't seem to be welcoming their presence very much. And as the Eastenders work and the Bleth workers kind of stick to the sidelines, there's a little bit of whispering and murmuring back and forth. You see an argument breaking out between two big groups of those people. How would you like to act? The rest of the Irregulars are not here yet.
How is everyone else acting? Are they ignoring it? Are they sort of egging people on?
The native Eastenders who are not actively working seem mostly to be kind of afraid and passive and not really paying much attention to it. But the conflict is drawing workers on both sides who come and support their side. So you now have about 10 or 12 Bleth workers and about 20 Shao Eastender workers who are getting in this arguing match. Like they start shouting at each other and getting all big.
Has anyone attacked yet?
Not yet.
Is it just shouting?
But it looks like it's heading that direction.
Going to edge closer.
Yes, it is. It is getting considerably West Side Story here.
She's gonna edge closer and get in a position where she can intervene if something happens.
Okay. Like, what do you mean if something happens? Like if somebody makes physical contact?
Yeah.
If somebody shouts a threat?
If it starts coming to blows, let's see. She's thinking maybe a little hypnotic pattern to stop everyone from fighting.
I see. Sure enough, without your direct intervention, one of the Shao Eastenders shoves one of the Bleth workers, and they immediately start fighting. But you had readied your spell for such an occasion. So go ahead and tell me what DC they would have to save in order to resist it.
15.
15. And what kind of save is it? Wisdom?
Yes.
Excellent. Here we go. Okay. Your only a few of them managed to resist. But otherwise, this hypnotic pattern appears, and those who failed their save, what happens to them?
They stand still as a lot of little winged golden people start flying around in the air, weaving these beautiful patterns.
So the vast majority of the workers stare transfixed at these golden people flying around, and there are several Shao workers who manage to fight through the illusion and look around confused. But there aren't any members of House Bleth who are actively fighting, you know? So they don't immediately have anyone to launch themselves against. The
So we're all good.
rest of the irregulars show up. At that point, you hear the clop of hooves behind you and see a carriage that Artemisia has rented for the occasion. Yes?
Did Sarshan stay over? Is he with us, or just want to know how many?
You
how
have
many
not
weapons we got.
seen Sarshan? I don't know. Was Sarshan there when you got back? I don't think.
We
Yes.
sent him off.
Oh,
Okay.
To,
Oh,
should
right.
check.
Yes, you
Yes.
sent him off to go
Okay.
follow Marcellia. Yeah, he hasn't returned.
Oh,
I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, he's
He can,
probably
he can
fine.
also take care of himself.
So,
Also turned into a wolf. What the hell?
A red wolf.
when the group arrives,
I don't
is
think you told me
Sturge
about
with
that.
them, or has Sturge gone off on that detour that you mentioned to me, Stephen?
it was a very quick one. I decided what he would do is just grab something while everyone else is eating and hurry over to the Purple Lady and not actually meet with Illyra, but leave a message with Faye.
Shay?
Shay, just saying the Dark Duchess is dead. And
Okay.
but
Well,
don't
Shay
have
is
time.
not actually there.
Oh, bloody hell!
It's the middle of the day, and Shay is not a day person.
Who's
But you can leave it with the fill-in bartender.
I don't trust the film bartender. I don't know this person. So
Pay them.
I'll simply say urgent.
Coin
news.
bartender. Sorry.
Yeah, coin bartender.
Urgent news.
Coin tender. May I interest you in a broadsheet?
Urgent news from Sturge will be in the east side, but at Prior House later this evening, regarding
How urgent exactly?
the disturbance in the East End.
Interesting.
Yes. Thank you.
I shall let the lady know.
Thank you. Hurry.
All right, and you go back out and hop in the carriage.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone shows up, Caliph, and you get there in time to see all the workers looking at this hypnotic pattern floating in the air that Caliph is maintaining with her magic.
Cool. So we're getting a lot done here. I see.
Does
They were fighting. They were gonna fight. I had to.
Ooh, Rogar, we got here just in time.
Oh.
I'm imagining Stong is just like hypnotized, going, "Wow."
Didn't cast it on you. Why are you staring?
So the gang members are all just standing around looking at the pretty lights.
Well, what happens is the twisting pattern of colors appears for a moment and then vanishes. So most people are just kind of sitting there looking dazed and not moving. They're in some kind of stupor. There are several workers who were not affected, who are like, huh? They're like shoving their friends a little bit to wake them up. The matriarch of Clan Goto appears, and she says, what is the meaning of this?
Sorry.
I came to help.
They were gonna start fighting. I thought it would be best if they didn't.
And you have put a spell upon them?
I can take it away.
Regante walks up as well, and she says, yes. Did you put that spell on my people as well? And Naikata looks at her and says, you're still here.
Equal opportunity caster. She didn't like pick a side there. You know, she's trying.
Right,
Yeah,
maybe
it
if you
was
guys
both
could control
sides.
your people, this wouldn't be a problem.
They both glare at Cecilia.
I mean, I have a point. You have a lot of work to get done here.
And Naikata looks to Caliph and says, "These are your friends, are they?"
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
we
Are we doing this?
We are.
She says, "If this is the sort of aid that you offer, then I decline your offer."
Ooh,
Would
strong
you
is
rather
good.
have had half your workers get beaten up and bloody because they got into a pointless fight?
Gang war in a crater sounds like a plan.
If a few xenophobic folk of Westgate need their heads broken in, then very well. And Rigante says, "Hey, how do you know it wasn't your people who struck first?" And they seem to be kind of like with each other. How do you want to proceed?
Rogar, calm emotions.
I was thinking of it, but right. I'll subtly share on the background. You need to calm down, and just subtly cast calm emotions over the area between Reganta and the lady of Cold Gold.
Alrighty. What is the DC of that saving throw?
I believe it's 15. Let me just double check there. It is 15. Aye.
Oh, well, they both rolled 3s, which is great.
Wow, nice.
So yeah, they both their heated argument calms, and they go, "Oh, well, I suppose bloodshed was avoided." And Naikata says, "This day, perhaps."
So we're here to help, I guess, Lady Bleth. If you would like us to, if I'll subtly say to Lady Bleth that if you'd like us to, we can go and help in your stead, and we'll be sure, not when we leave, to make it clear that we did so with your blessing.
Well, that sounds reasonable. I suppose I can just pull my people out. Oi, men! She kind of starts gathering her people, just shaking the ones that are in their stupor. She says, "We're going now. I need a drink."
Oh, that sounds
And-
good. Oh, no, I gotta stay.
I was gonna say, is that an option?
We just got here.
Right.
And yeah,
I'm
House
really
Bless
tired still.
House Bless starts to wander away. Regante comes back over to you and says, "I was having them here for some reason. I'm sure it's fine.
It's probably fine.
You look like a very honest dwarf. Would you like to join me for a drink?"
Oh, well, I'll never turn
You
down a
get
drink.
out of this. We'll make all of us do the work.
Sure, aye. I'm always welcome to drink and a chance to make new friends.
Well then, she claps her big axe back on her back, which she had
God.
pulled out because there might be fighting, and she says, "Come with me to the Black Boot then."
But
What?
later, right? Because there's devastation here.
I'm
Right.
sure it'll be fine. Nankata has it well under control. She says, "Yes, the flame-haired one is right. I have this well under control. You will be helping, yes?" Pointing to Caliph. "And you,
Yes.
and the others."
Yes, helping.
Yes, we're all helping, right? Yes.
What are we doing?
We're helping with this.
That's
Mess.
very, very vague, Caleb. What are we doing? Because if it's something like putting stone back together, maybe we need the guy with the stone shape.
Regante swats Rogar on the butt
Oh,
as she's
The
escorting
bull.
him off to the tavern.
actually, I think why don't I take I think, what do you call it, an ocean check or something like that here in Westgate, and we will. I should probably help and heal some people, to really make sure that you get a good a good reputation here among the people, and then I can join you later for
Make a persuasion check with advantage because she has the calm emotions effect.
Rogar's like the hottest dwarf in Westgate. Like everybody wanted a piece of Rogar.
It's the blessings of Sharon-Lar.
Yeah.
That's what we call it. Yeah, 17 plus persuasion. So that's 19.
Okay. She says, very well. Perhaps I'll see you again someday. And she heads off.
Very good. All right. Whew, that was close. All right.
So you spend the rest of the day helping with the efforts to rescue people from the collapse?
Yes.
Hero montage.
Yes.
Dun,
Yes,
dun,
we're
dun.
doing
We're
it.
helping the people. Dun, 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 dun. Building things. Showing us sweaty.
Artemisia like picks up Run Rock, and it's like this big.
Yeah.
Well,
Can I just
What
like
I did.
Eldritch blast the rubble? Is that...
yeah.
Hey, you can use your magic to clear rubble, and Stonk can probably move heavy things, and
Well, I was
Scourge
going
can
to
slip in to find
offer-
people trapped under buildings, that kind of thing.
I was going to offer to turn Artemisia into a giant monkey, and that way she would have like massive strength. And your like
Whoa.
She'll love
polymorph
it, just do
clothes
it.
too.
So are you going to ask her first?
Oh yeah.
Would ask her. No, Stong would ask.
Just
wouldn't
a
he?
very
Stone would
well
ask. Stone
groomed
would
one
ask.
with very sleek fur.
Yeah, you could describe what your giant monkey looks like. Giant ape.
All right. So under two conditions would this actually happen if Ston came to her. One is if he asked her after she had attempted to pick up a rock that was like this big.
Yeah, I assume you just did that. Just right then.
And two is if there's somewhere where they can have a little bit of privacy, so that like people might see like Artemisia leave, and then like Song comes back with like a monkey, but
a
like
giant 15
Very
foot tall ape.
glamorous monkey.
Yeah. Wow,
but
what a
these are not
beautiful
connected,
monkey.
not connected at all.
Okay.
Okay.
So you spend the rest of the day helping with the rescue and cleanup efforts.
Jigs can sniff people. That's how I'm helping.
Oh, yeah.
I'm managing Jigs.
Look and snurd.
Yeah.
So
J-
I use my
Jigs
polymorph on you.
Jigs points out where trapped people might be.
And then I pointed it, and Ape Amnesia can dig him up.
Maybe Sturge slips into some
right,
hard to
cool.
reach spots and finds people, that kind of thing. Okay. But it is tiring, and it takes the rest of the day. The sun is starting to set, and dark clouds are sweeping in.
no.
You think it's going to rain this evening, but the East End is in much better condition than it was
Yay.
earlier.
Hey, let's go home because now it's dark and there are vampires trying to kill us.
Yeah.
That sounds wise.
And-
You guys can go. I'll just be here a couple more hours.
Bad idea.
No, Caleb.
Just
Yeah, no.
there's
No.
we can still help here.
Yeah, no.
Would you like one of us to stay with you?
No. That's endangering two of you now.
That'd be nice.
Well, you can come back tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Everybody, you need to rest so that you can then be more helpful tomorrow.
Well, as you're having this conversation, a black carriage appears,
Oh, dear.
and out of it climbs Aiden.
Oh no. I mean, okay.
Well, I mean, Aiden better than Night Math.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like there's just like
He's like,
both your boyfriends fit into a hierarchy of terrible.
he's like, there's dead bodies here.
And he says, I came as soon as my lecture was over. I didn't know about the collapse. I was in the hall all day. Is everyone okay?
He hopes not.
Half the city collapsed, so no.
I don't know. Is everybody okay?
Oh,
Does it
well,
stabilize?
I brought help, and he pulls out a bag of holding.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I mean, I guess
Okay,
if
what's
you have to
okay
use
with-
them for something.
Right? Zombies rescuing people from the rubble. Okay.
So
He says,
Caleb,
"Well, they're mostly skeletons," and he starts
My
pouring them
mistake.
out. He says, "It was odd. I found this large sort of packing crate somewhere here in the East End that had a bunch of bodies that had mostly skeletonized over several months or possibly a year. I don't know how it got here, but I found it and I figured I'd put the bodies to use.
Hacking creative bodies.
Of course.
That's not a normal thing.
I know, right? It's strange, but
Was,
you know,
was it
don't
on
dispose of resources. And he pours out like 8 skeletons.
So
like in
he-
a
so he-
Vamos warehouse?
No.
Would it have been?
Family warehouse.
No.
Well, that would have been more convenient because I'm he looks at Caliph.
You're a
This
what
is-
now?
He says, I'm a member of House Vamos.
Are you two like
What?
competing for worst boyfriend?
What do you
What
mean
the
by
heck?
2 questions? What do you mean you, and 2 boyfriend? He looks over at Caliph.
No one's talking
Don't get
to
your
you
hopes
right
up.
now.
Anyway, she has my signet ring. I have to go help people, so I'm just going to go do that.
It's not anything like that.
He brought a skeleton crew.
No.
He did.
Okay, well, silver lining, you can go now
Yeah,
because
Caleb,
your
come on.
relief squad came in,
Mm.
and we cannot get bit by vampires. And you can explain to us why you're not dating a scion of House Vamos.
Also, I'm curious if they have had any interaction since Doppelcaliph macked all over him.
Oh,
So-
that's true.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. What
He
does
might-
it
You have
encourage?
not seen him since that. You don't even know that happened, actually.
Yeah.
So he might just come with a lot of expectations.
About a minute after Aiden takes his leave with his group of skeletons, you hear screaming.
Oh.
Because
Like
apparently not.
skeleton screaming.
Yeah. Not everyone is as cool with the undead.
That's weird.
Should probably go.
I mean, screaming
explain
people are alive.
And you hear Aiden saying, no, it's fine. It's totally, no, please don't do that. No, that's just inefficient, Cratch. Oh,
These are natural consequences. Aiden is learning a lesson.
that took me a while. Hey, put down that spear. Hey, what are you doing with that spear? Oh.
Can we help him?
Stone would like to
No.
actually like hang back and then find Caliph, and then he'll say, look, if you really want to stay here, I'll stay here with you and make sure everything's okay. I could send the rest of the party if something goes wrong. But if
I
you
was going to
don't,
stay as well.
I would like
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
would like to go
If
back.
some of us are going to stay, it feels like we should all stay and have each other's backs. Because I don't think part of us would have killed that vampire.
Well, Kayla's really just she feels really, really bad about this. Because
You didn't knock the statue down.
it caused the collapse. We caused the collapse. This is our
Oh,
fault.
not so loudly.
We
Don't say
weren't
that
the
so loudly.
people. We weren't
This
the
is our
people that built this city on top of a load-bearing statue of an evil goddess. I feel like the blame
But we're
goes
the ones
back
who built
farther.
this
But we're
city.
the ones who knocked it down.
I mean, you put up a statue of Shar. Someone's coming along and knocking it down eventually.
We
Yeah,
built
and
the
common
city
sense.
on Sharon's hands.
I must
We
admit,
built
I
this city.
feel a little bit of extra guilt because, technically
Yeah,
I was
this-
the one that threw the vampire into the statue and broke it. So
Yeah, you can
I'm all
argue
for
about
help.
this is the fault of the builders all you want, but we're the ones who knocked down the statue. This is our fault. We need to make this right.
That's why
I
we're going to
actually-
come back tomorrow morning.
I also feel very confident that nobody built the city like that, that the Night Mask did some like retrofitting that they did not have any kind of permits for, and that's where the city fell. So really, we already avenged all of this, and everything else we're doing is icing, and it's very good of us to do, but you need some sleep.
All right, that evil
So-
orgy temple definitely wasn't up to code.
Once you roll
Don't sleep.
persuasion, roll persuasion.
Who?
I think
who was
me.
just speaking? Yeah, Cecilia. I keep wanting to say Aaron, but Cecilia.
Who's she
Uh,
persuading?
Oh, well,
23.
so was Artemisia. Artemisia
I
was.
think I'm persuading Caleb.
that's
What
pretty
would be the
persuasive.
opposite of a persuasion check?
An intimidation
roll.
check.
No, I mean,
Oh no, like to resist being persuaded.
Oh, wisdom saving throw.
Whatever.
Like,
Okay.
again, like I said, if someone does a
Okay.
social skill check on you to persuade you of something or to lie to you about something, you are always under control of what your character does in response. So it is up to you how persuasive you find that argument based on the roll.
You roll a cynic check.
Right.
In
Anyway,
your
as
heart.
they're having this conversation, Sturge, you notice as rain starts to fall that near the bridge are standing two cloaked women. Those being Ilra and Shay.
Well, that's better. I was definitely expecting this
Yeah.
to turn out
Hey,
vampires.
Two
folks,
cloaked women.
Yeah.
Ilra and Shay. A little
we
less.
let's go back to Briarhouse and have this conversation. If you decide you want to come back here to the bridge, you can, but at least we can get some food and talk. And here's Ilra. Ilra is here. And she
What's wrong with your speech?
is a friend.
Right. Well, when you see them, Ilra nods and Shay comes over toward you and says, "We received your message. Are you all right?"
Yes. This is definitely Fane, right? I mean, Shay.
Shay.
This looks very much like Shay. She's a gray-skinned elven woman with long silvery white hair and kind of red eyes.
Do you know of the Duchess of Darkness?
And not personally, but my lady has told me about her. Perhaps we should not be having this conversation in public.
Let's
You
perhaps
should come to the Purple Lady and we'll talk there.
We were just heading back to our home. You see, we are there's a certain amount of protection in one's home as long as one doesn't invite unwelcome guests in. You know,
There's a certain amount of protection in the Purple Lady.
I,
It's the Purple Lady's defensive book.
yeah.
I mean, partly me and her.
True. That's true. Very true. Let me ask my friends what they wish to do, and I will at least accompany you. But they may wish to go home.
Good.
So I'll bring that back to the group and say, Ilra would happily host us this evening, if you like, and she is not to be trifled with. So that might be a way to.
I will trifle with who I wish to trifle with.
What I mean is,
However foolish that decision is.
And try and stop me from trifling.
our enemies would hesitate, I think. But if you don't wish to do that and you wish to sleep in your own beds tonight, I would. I understand, but I will go with her and discuss.
I'm very opposed to splitting up right now.
I mean, I agree that the Purple Lady seems like it would be very safe. I don't want to stay there all night, but it's certainly a good venue for a conversation.
If we outvote Sturge, I could charm person him. It's not a big deal.
Very well. Then I'll tell her we'll join her there.
But this adventure has literally become all of the friends standing around and go, "What do you want to eat? I don't know. What sounds good to you? I don't know. What sounds good to you? I don't know. What are
Let's
you?
go to the Purple Lady.
I don't know. Let me check Yelp. I don't know. Does that have
Frog
good
March
reviews?
Caliph there, like, let's go.
Okay.
Well,
What are you gonna do, fly away?
Caleb lets herself be persuaded. Like, she has too much dignity for that.
Okay. Do you try and talk with Aiden before you leave, or do you just leave?
No, she's gonna check. Like, Aiden, you okay over there?
All right. So you find him standing amongst several broken skeletons. The other skeletons he has put to work lifting beams and whatnot, and he is kneeling down and picking up shattered pieces of bone and putting them in the bag. And he says, "Oh, Caleb, hello." He looks sad.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just so silly, you know? I'm just trying to help, but people don't understand. So I can't really blame them, though. You know, things you don't understand are inherently frightening.
I find like if you dress some things up nicely, like have you thought about like putting like signs on your skeletons and maybe like a funny hat, maybe, and like paint a smiley face on Like it might help.
That's an interesting idea, Rogar. I'll take that under advisement.
Red
Caleb
nose.
is gonna go help him collect up the bits of skeleton, put them in his bag, and then go with her friends.
Okay.
Just like
Yeah.
on the shoulder on the way up.
Okay. He's like, okay, thank you. We should probably talk at some point, but you seem to have urgent business, so
Talk about what?
just the
Us.
nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. It's not important. Anyway, I'll be at the university if you want to contact me.
Contact.
I'll be sure to.
He's gonna try to vampire touch you again,
Uh,
or make you vampire
Again?
touch him. I mean,
Yeah.
all right, sorry.
Says,
Do you need to talk about something?
are your wings all right?
It's
What-
it's getting worse.
You should definitely come to the university then when you're resolved with this business. And I'll see what I can do.
All right, I will. Once everything's cleared up here, I'll
Okay.
touch with you.
Be safe.
Be safe.
He's
All right.
he's gonna graft like some eagle corpse wings on you, and I'm here for it.
You see, you say that like he hasn't already done that.
Fair point.
Yeah, all right. So you pile into the carriage. You head to the Purple Lady.
Yep.
Illyra, well, Shay rides with you on top of the carriage or inside the carriage, whichever you would prefer.
I mean, if we can fit
Inside.
one more person,
Yeah.
we're not animals.
She prefers
Okay.
to ride on top. Then.
So-
She rides with you in the carriage, and she
Ooh,
says,
dumpling.
"We would have come sooner, but my lady had certain investigations to check and certain contacts to contact. So, I wanted to ask before we all gather: are any of you injured? Did any of you get bitten?"
No. Well,
What's that thing on your nose?
Aye, poor Stong.
Oh,
that was the
Stan,
Yes.
you were bitten by the Duchess of Darkness.
He shows off his average scar.
She says, "Oh, there's a lot of hair here that's just grown over the course of the afternoon." She
She wades through
pushes
the forest.
the beard out of the way, right? And her hands are very cold. She pushes
I guess
the hair out of the way.
winces at her touch, like
She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry.
cold hands.
I'm sorry."
Have your exes complained about that?
I am not aware of any living exes.
When
So
you get one.
So you,
that's
so
a roundabout
yes.
way of saying no.
Oh, I see.
This doesn't look too bad. I don't think you're in any danger.
Oh, good. I don't want to be a half orc, half something, half vampire.
Mm.
That's good math.
Have
Ah,
something.
Third
I
half.
assumed you had human heritage.
No.
Hmm?
Hmm?
Hmm.
Well, I don't really like to talk about my dad because I don't know. He's just a lot to live up to.
Oh, Shay says, "I'm sorry. I did not mean to touch at a sensitive spot."
It's okay. It's more just like it's not him. It's really just me in my own head. Like he's just so cool and so strong and like everybody looks up to him and I'm just not as cool yet.
Ah,
Oh,
Celia's
Rogar
looking
hears
around to
that.
see if
I
anybody
think
knows.
you're wrong about that.
Yeah, Rogar says, I think you're very cool, Stong.
Oh,
Y'all haven't met him yet. Once you meet
Yeah,
him,
well-
you're gonna want to be his best friend and not mine.
can he turn into a 15-foot ape?
We're always going to be your best friend first.
I'm
I'd
your
like to
best friend.
believe that, but we'll see.
Shay says, "Well, I do not know you particularly well, Stung, but I think that you are a credit to any parent."
Thank you.
Also, if he's that cool, we should be putting this on your posters for your gigs.
That's a wise choice, Cecilia.
He's already stolen one of my past bands.
Oh,
I liked him so much better.
So there's a knock on the carriage door, which is the signal from the driver that you've arrived.
Okay, we get the Eldritch Blast ready in case there's a vampire.
Okay.
Okay.
In the doorway is waiting Lady Ilrin Ethelyn.
Okay.
It's a pale moon elf. She has the kind of black hair that is blue based. So in certain lights, it has kind of a blue cast. She dresses all in black. And since it is cold, she's wearing, attire suitable for the cold. And she says, come in.
Wait a second. And then I shake him out. Just a second.
She gives you a small smile.
Mhm.
Like, I see what you're doing. Yeah. And Shay says, I'll get everyone drinks. I think I know what your favorite drinks are now.
Mm.
I'm not that
Part of
hard.
me feels like this isn't going to end well.
Martini,
So,
garlic garnish, please.
Ilra shows you to the private audience chamber. The Purple Lady, when you go in, is surprisingly empty and sparse. Like it's closed. You've never been to the Purple Lady when it's closed. It's always full, jam-packed of people dancing and drinking and reveling. But right now, it seems to be closed. The purple silks hanging from the ceiling are lank and unmoving. They only stir slightly when the door opens. And Ilra says, this way, and briskly heads up the stairs to the private chamber.
You're closed?
Yes, I have matters of greater import to discuss with you, in fact.
I love that you described this, and I just kind of went, because of course it's closed. There's a shutdown order, but that's not my heads in the game. This is weird. It's upsetting
right.
to see.
So the audience chamber, which we last described in that very first episode, the flashback episode, is large enough for 50 or 60 people or so. It has tapestries that hang down on the walls, which are black and purple and silver, and depict scenes from, you think, Westgate's history. And there is a table, which last time you were here was covered with food and bottles of various drinks and such, but it's a bit more sparse, a bit more finger food and stuff, not a full banquet meal for you.
And vampires feature prominently in those murals, right?
Yes, there are several murals that have vampires in them. Vampires looking conspiratorial, vampires fighting armored figures, one of whom has a gleaming sword of silver thread, right? And yeah.
So become the vampire.
Yeah, once you're all in there, Ilra closes the doors behind you. And she says, I heard. And she moves around looking at the tapestries. And then she settles on one. She says, that one. Pointing at one of the vampires in the tapestry.
Can we tell?
Cool.
It is a female vampire, and there are little red hints under her eyes, which was a distinctive feature of the Duchess of Darkness when you fought her. But it is a little bit stylized.
Yeah. So we're gonna cut that out now, or
disembodied head that we got.
Rogar glued it on a pig.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we don't have it right now.
I assume you told us all that.
I assume you put it on the
I
back
might-
end of the pig.
Might have mentioned it.
Not only-
Afterwards, I thought, well, if this comes back on us, maybe you guys should know it happened. But
Yeah.
Can you describe this vampire to me that you fought? She called herself the Duchess of Darkness, you say?
Yep.
What does she look
Very
like?
dramatic.
She was a servant of Shar, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
She had red
She was
under her
rude.
eyes.
Yeah.
Rude.
Actually, Artemisia probably can give
Oh, that's
like
true. You stared at her
acres
a
of
lot.
detail. while she's
Yeah, it's all
very
seared
like
into your mind.
clenched up. Like anybody who like knows Artemisia's body language, she's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah,
Sure.
Artemisia
I can
might
tell you
be
all about it.
very uncomfortable right now. Yeah.
Serge just make an illusion of her.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
And then Artemisia is gonna like
I'm gonna
go
stand between Artemisia and the
trigger
illusion.
warning.
No,
And we're
see,
shaking her out of the
Artemisia, she's looking
tapestry.
at this tapestry. There are
Yeah.
no vampires on this tapestry.
Yeah, you immediately recognize the Duchess of Darkness in the tapestry, Artemisia. Everyone else, you were like, yeah, that looks kind of like her. And Artemisia, you're like, yeah, that's definitely her.
So we killed one in the tapestry. That means we tapped the lass.
Do
Tapped
we
that
get a
lass.
like exit out now?
PG-13. Okay.
We don't have to sew an X, right?
She says
Not doing
that Dahlia, I thought she was long dead. I mean, again, obviously.
I mean, vampires, they can live a long time.
Did she?
Yes, but I thought I had killed her.
Oh no.
Could you
Oh.
tell us about the circumstances around which you killed her?
She smiles kind of wryly, and she's like, I think you know me well enough to know what the circumstances were.
Mm.
Oh,
How do we know if we
Well,
didn't
Ours were
actually kill her?
different.
you.
I'm
Dawn
glad.
threw her into a magical statue
I'm glad she was a
In the
very
middle-
selfish lover.
of a sickening
Oh,
radiance
oh, love
effect.
That would do it. And she didn't escape her misty
Oh, and then
form.
Artemisia, well, she turned misty, and then Artemisia lightning bolted her. It was a wonderful team effort.
I see.
It was okay, let's did something and I've forgotten what.
She shattered these.
Just shattered the statue.
That's right, she shattered the statue.
That
It was awesome.
that may have done it. The statue of Shar. That was
That
the
was-
source of the head.
Yeah.
The head was covered in the evening broadsheets. That was very clever and very insulting to the priests and priestesses of Shar. I'm sure that will be fine.
They shouldn't be
Dog
so
gives Rogar a
attached to
thumbs up.
material things. Isn't that against their credo or something?
I think Rogar deserves inspiration for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Rogar, you can have inspiration for
Aw.
defiling the statue.
On his own.
The credo of Shar, Illyra takes Cecilia's question very seriously. The credo of Shar varies from place to place. The Duchess was fond of her corporeal comforts. After all, she was a noble of the city long
Oh,
ago.
Which family?
Which house?
Dahlia Vamos, in fact.
oh.
Oh, of course.
Does Aiden know her?
Artemisia, did she mention any other living, well, existing vampires? Did she mention the
Duchess
Night-
of Venom.
the Night King?
Oh, the Twilight Knight.
Well, we know
Oh.
of them.
Oh,
But the Night King, did she mention him?
Are you just
No,
coming
it
up with
was-
extra vampires for us to fight?
No, I thought I remembered that.
That was
Moon Knight.
Cecilia, to be
Did she
clear.
mention Moon Knight?
Artemisia, it is a little bit blurry, but you're pretty sure she was mostly focused on taunting you and torturing you, not talking about her friends or allies.
Your mother smells of
She
elderberries.
didn't say anything else useful at all.
There
So
were
Artemisia is
four-
going to
Now
like,
she's not
stop
going to
the
say any
spider.
other things.
Okay. There were 4 crypts in that around that Shar area.
Now they're buried under all that rubble.
That's a shame.
Yes, well, vampires can turn into misty forms.
That seems like cheating, but okay.
Yes, it does.
What?
Illyra has
What's
an
that misty
expression that
step
is
thing you
hard
like to do
to.
again?
Sorry,
Illyra's
what were
being
you
cryptic?
asking? Yeah, she's being. She has an expression which is hard to identify. If you want to try insight, you can feel free.
Oh,
Anyway.
all right.
Go on, Caliph.
No, she's just making fun of Celia. It's like Misty Form seems like cheating, but Misty Step doesn't.
No, that is
No,
definitely
that's
not
magic. That's
cheating.
totally fine.
That's evening the playing field.
17 insight.
18.
Hmm. She seems distantly sad.
Hmm.
All of you need to pick better people to sleep with.
Perhaps so.
Although from a narrative perspective, it's way more interesting if you date the bad people.
Stong's going to pat Ilora on the shoulder.
Okay, she flinches away.
Oh,
Right.
sorry.
Somewhat dexterously, like, it's like, no, it was a gesture of goodwill. I just don't want to hurt you.
Oh, thank you for that.
It was Stong who really led the charge. Stong smashed the shit out of her and stunned her, and the rest of us, we were hiding.
One of us casted Sickening Radiance. I want some credit.
Okay.
Sorry,
but
you loved her.
Is Ilra looking uncomfortable as we describe how we killed her ex-lover?
No.
it was amazing. Stong deserves the credit for that.
Was she a vampire when you were lovers?
Yes.
Oh,
I will credit
that
all
makes-
of you with that success.
It was a
sense,
team
though.
effort.
You see, my curse has certain limitations. It does not affect dead flesh or undead creatures. Only
limits
the
dating
living.
pool. Aye.
And certain entities that find other ways around it.
So Stong would like to ask her, do you know if she was still involved with House Vamos?
I do not know. Possibly. I thought she was dead for a century. I was very thorough, but vampires do find ways to escape. I did mention that I attempted to kill her myself, right?
Aye.
Yes. So the doors open and Shay comes in with a plate full of drinks. And she's like, looking around at all of you, this very tense conversation. And she's like, oh, you started then. She comes and puts the drinks down.
The Artemisia is going to go like right in, and I assume it's Tsar for her.
Yeah.
And
That's-
she's going to like completely knock it back. Like, gone.
Great.
Put the glass down again.
And what does she offer me?
You weren't there at that first session, so she is going to guess what
Right.
Rogar might like. And what she brings to Rogar
Joey
is
Temple.
a very stout dwarven ale
Oh, perfect.
with a strawberry floating in it.
Which looks like a heart.
Yeah, it is. It is cut to look like a heart.
Oh, that's very nice. I mean, I don't know about strawberries and ale, but I'll give it a try. I'll take a nice big swig.
Aaron, did we break you again?
She looks at you very expectantly, like, yes, yes, yes,
Is this a fruity ale?
yes.
I kind of like it.
Aha! I am 4 for 6. Woo!
I would never in 1,000 years have thought that. But aye, actually, I love it.
So, having killed a vampire with a title, what should we be expecting insofar as the Night Mask's heat?
Well, Ilra says, I suppose it depends on if anyone knows that you did this feat. Have
Only
you been
What?
bragging about it to
We
the rest
have
of the city?
Not.
As far as anyone
Uh,
knows, we have nothing to do with anything that's happened recently.
Shay says, did
We had a
you
witness.
did you or did you not fuse the Sharon statue's head to a pig?
I mean, did anybody see us do that?
Anybody could have done that.
So you guys know. There was one.
Ilra
witness.
sighs and she says, well, there's a witness.
Oh,
Conrad
And-
the coin lad.
Conrad the coin lad. And Shay says, wasn't he though? And Ilra, there are many coin lads who come through the Purple Lady. Is there anything you can tell me about this Conrad?
Magic doesn't work on him. It's very inconvenient.
Shay's like, that's it. That's where I remember him from. Magic doesn't work on him, and you could probably. And Ilra says, "I see."
Oh,
So
She's
her magic
interested.
doesn't work on it.
Yeah.
so-
Well, and what became of this Conrad the Coin Lad?
He went back to the Black Boot, and we went home.
Ah,
That was a mistake on our part.
I
Right
think
at
you
the time.
should. I think you should assume that your fame will spread through the city fairly quickly. As I recall, Conrad the Coin Lad has a very loose tongue. Shay says,
Okie doke.
Oh,
man.
A serious
Town
conversation.
somewhere,
So, like-
somewhere in the city, the town crier is like, I am needed. Starts running.
His job is never done.
Artemisia, how many guest rooms does your dad's house have? Because if you're going, maybe we're all going.
Do you want to bring that danger to her house?
Vampires can't cross running water. I'm sure the ocean counts. Whatever.
So what you're saying
That's
is
a
we
thing,
should
right?
hire a boat.
Could live
I
on
also
that.
don't know that Marcelea is going to countenance.
I
this
was
for
gonna
even a
say,
second.
like, are
I
are
ca-
you volunteering to go live with Marcelea?
I'm volunteering not to be eaten by vampires.
Well, I cannot leave. My
Mhm.
quest sends me to defend the Western Gate against the Womps. I must remain.
Shay
if-
says, there are a number of people in the city that you care about,
Drop my
yes?
dice.
Yeah, I guess.
Are you meaning to take all of them with you as well?
I don't know how many guest rooms there are.
Well, I mean,
They didn't let me pass the front door.
there is a place that while I could stay that would be safe here, or a person that I could perhaps stay with. But
No, do not do that.
I
Don't
wouldn't
use
want
the
I wouldn't
crisis to make another crisis worse.
I wouldn't want to leave any of you. So, and I doubt.
Oh, who is this person? Ilra asks. And Shay goes,
I'm gonna give Ilra a significant look.
I don't think it's just a romantic fancy. It's not a big deal. It's nothing important, Shay says. Don't get mad. And Ilra
Yeah.
says, "Oh, I see."
It wouldn't work anyway. It's a silly idea.
Cecilia, might
Pay your mind.
I speak with you for a moment?
Okie doke.
This will go well.
Perhaps behind that tapestry, the one that you hid behind when you first came here.
Okay. Am I discovering this tapestry is soundproof? Because it's pretty banging.
Well, you get behind the tapestry, and Ilra waves her hand, and the tapestry kind of like very firmly adheres to the walls, so it's
Mm.
muffling sound. Ilra says, "You haven't broken them up yet?"
Okay, listen. A lot has been going on since the last time I talked to you.
I understand.
All I know is that Caliph and I found a book, and she kept it, and I don't remember everything it says. But I definitely think it's proof that he's bad. But I'm not going to her without really good proof, because if I tell her don't date him, and more than I normally do, like really seriously, like don't do it, she's just going to run to him harder unless I have really good evidence.
Has he been intervening in your efforts? I know
Not that
he's
I know
here.
of. Here?
Not here in the room. Well, I
Okay,
hope he's not
good.
here in the room.
'Cause good Lord, lady, I expect better of you.
I don't think he is. I don't think it's part of his plan to approach me directly like that.
This is all about you?
Not necessarily. But he has. Wilton has a fixation with me. And so it is possible.
God,
But
why do you
he's-
date the worst people?
That's
You married Mirren and she's so nice.
Have you never been young and foolish?
I mean, not like this. I my own thing going on. Anyway,
Hmm.
I'm foolish in my own way.
True.
Just to make
I can
things
make some space to get good reasons to break them up. I absolutely will. I will
okay.
take her to Aglarond if that's what I have to do. I really am not looking forward to that one though.
Just to make things perfectly clear. And she kind of like opens up her shirt slightly and shows you this scar through basically her middle.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, that is where he killed me.
Ah, Aglarond it is. Faye, no, let's just go to Feywild. Like, that's entirely different plane, right? Oh my god, he probably can follow us with his dumb demons or something.
You
right?
could flee to Aglarond, or you could stay and help me do the same to him.
Hmm.
Okay, but listen, I'm amazing, and I know that, but you are definitely more powerful than me. Not that that means I'm going to give you any, like, slack.
Yes,
but
but the gap between our powers is lessening.
you're older than me. It's okay. But I feel like Lilton is still kind of maybe a little outside my reach here.
The 6 of you did destroy the Duchess of Darkness, did you not?
Is he not like some kind of... I don't really actually understand what he is, to be honest.
No one does.
Those of us who've read Eric Scott to be Zufra too, but
But there is
Cecilia
one
has not, so
there is one thing I can say for sure about him, and that is that he is obsessive. And it can lead him to make mistakes.
okie doke. How do we make him make a mistake? I'm really good at making mistakes, and sometimes I'm good at making other people make mistakes. But I don't want to make a mistake making him make a mistake. And I don't want Artemisia getting hurt in the middle of this.
Can I say something and you won't take it amiss?
I will not promise that.
Fair enough.
Cannot promise that.
That would be a lie, and you and I both know it.
This is what I very much like about you, Cecilia. All right. Please do not go to Aglarond. I have a quest for you.
Okay. Not usually motivated by quests, but okay.
Help me drive Lilton away.
I am into the results of this quest.
Either kill him or just make him go away. I haven't succeeded in that in my century of trying, but I think that we have an opportunity now.
Okay. I feel like the vampires are a slightly more pressing problem.
Yes, I will assist you with the vampires.
Okay. And in exchange? we'll get
And in
rid of
exchange,
Lilton.
I need you to find out what power Lilton is keeping over your sister.
Okay. I think she just thinks he's hot and he's good in bed, honestly.
Both of
And
those
also,
things
I
are
mean,
accurate, but there must
like-
be some sort of power that he's using.
She's not shallow like that, but it doesn't hurt. He has a lot of money. But you think there's something else?
There must be.
Okay. Really? Because he's really hot.
No, right? Anyway.
Not my kind of thing, but
Hmm.
What of that other warlock who is, the other witch who is paired with you?
he's not a witch. You don't have to fake that.
He's not?
I mean, look at him. He's not from Rashomon. Also, that's not called a witch. That's called a Vermiani. Anyway, Sarshan is, I don't know. He wanders around.
He has interest in your sister, right?
I guess. I can't tell with Sarshan. He's really strange.
Or is his
Also,
interest...
he was my knight first anyway.
So his interest is in you.
I don't know. I sometimes think he doesn't actually know how to be a person.
Mhm,
Like he's
mhm.
still learning for some reason.
Mirren contacted me and told me that she had an update about that, actually.
Oh? About
Yes.
wait, about Sarshan?
About Sarshan. He's very distinctive, some sort of
She,
far removed member of the people. So,
Oh, you're talking elf stuff, right? Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I don't like that didn't like come down with my blood knowing stuff like that. I didn't really get that education.
Okay.
Also, as I recall correctly, Sarshan is my cousin. That is what I told Mirren.
Okay.
So that is true.
Yes,
he's
she
already
did seem disappointed about that. As I recall, she was telling me that you two looked very, very adorable together, is the word that she used, adorable.
I feel like if any two people stand in front of Mirren for a little bit, she's going to say they're adorable.
You know, that's probably accurate.
Okay. She's so cute.
Anyway, you should talk with her when you get a chance.
Okay.
We should probably rejoin the others. Do you have any other questions?
Do you have any idea where I can get proof that Littleton is terrible? Besides, I mean, him just being there, because apparently that's not enough.
He is very careful. I would suggest that maybe you could find someone to betray him, someone who works for him or with him. Or you could lure him into making an error that you could then document.
I think I might have the right person.
Very well.
Okay.
All right. So she waves her hand again and the tapestry goes back to normal. And then they emerge from the tapestry. To the rest of the group who are having conversation with Shay, she's probably said something funny, or she's very entertaining and like she's good at being a hostess.
I'm not really enjoying this fruit tea ale. I'd like another. I'm down like 3 of them. Really quick.
I'm not really enjoying this.
Are we able to get refills?
One to try.
Because
Yes.
Artemisia is really knocking them back.
Okay, so Artemisia is on the tipsy side.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep the flashbacks at bay.
Stong offers food from the bag of holding, from the morning to everybody.
Don't we have like
We've got
food laid out there that we can snack from?
I don't want to keep this in my bag forever.
I thought you were feeding it to the refugees.
Yeah, bag
Nobody
fish.
wanted
Not-
any.
They're like, orc bag food.
Yeah.
You produced fish and loaves, the masses.
Whoa, I've got the hair. I've already got the hair. I'm ready.
Oh.
All
I'm
right.
ready to be a deity.
So
Right.
Ilra addresses the 6 of you and says, well, so you have struck a blow against the Night Mass, an unexpectedly strong blow. No doubt they will look for retribution in some way. I can assist you in protecting yourselves from the Night Mass to some extent. I will
Ilra,
call in certain favors to assist.
Ilra, is it too late to run like a counter rumor campaign and say that it was somebody else who did it?
Westgate Irregulars.
I mean,
They
Lilton.
look like us, but they have mustaches.
Oh, aye.
Except Rogart doesn't have a
All
mustache.
right. I like where you're going
Bogar.
better. Yeah.
Ilra says, well, I am very good at spreading rumors and disinformation. So, yes, I could try that if that is what you wish. You do not wish to have this fame attached to you, eh?
Not for now. I think we need to figure out just how dangerous our foes are and the depth of their resources.
And also wardings. Wardings for the house.
Wardings.
Even with the counter rumor.
Well, you should go and see Mirren, and she can assist you with that, I'm sure.
Thank you.
But I rather would encourage you to take credit for your deeds, because that has the chance and the possibility of luring the Night Mass into making a mistake and attacking you when you are much more resourceful and powerful than they expect.
I'm glad you
Particularly
guys-
if you have my assistance.
She does have a point.
I like your sweet talk.
Did you not have a conflict with the Twilight Knight?
Mm-hmm.
Aye. But, well, you ball bag.
Tell them there's twice. No.
Aye.
Well,
He's
hell, half as
but
many of
his-
us.
Aye.
Perhaps this is an opportunity to have a battle with him on a battlefield of your choosing.
Yeah, we could set up a trap.
I suppose. I mean, he hasn't really bothered us since then, so
Well, he's murdered a bunch of innocent people already.
has he? All right.
Well, in the past.
Oh, in the
Didn't
past.
you kill
aye.
that guy? I wasn't there. I just know you were sad after.
Radagast.
Oh, right. Aye. True.
Yes, Ilra says. Radagast.
Anyway, less vampires seems like an ideal situation no matter what. Especially if
Okay.
Sturge is hunting up new ones for us to fight.
Mm.
And I'm drinking more heavily now.
Oh.
Then we are
Join
agreed.
Artemisia.
We shall join forces and attempt to take the fight to the Night Masks. She puts her gloved hand out.
Who's shaking?
Do you want us to
Well,
shake
like
your hand
like
now?
with her palm down.
Oh,
Like in the center?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Dude.
I love the idea that we're all like, we don't know that one.
Yeah.
What's happening?
All right.
Because we're
Put her
so
hand-
bad at working together.
Oh, Dog is definitely going to kiss her gloved hand. Yeah,
No,
he's going
no,
to lean
no, no.
down and take it up.
Do
Is this
in the
the all
center.
like, oh, go kind of thing?
Also,
No, that's awkward.
Artemisia
Hold
being
on.
the only one that gets it,
Hold on.
and she's too drunk to explain it.
Stong. Make a charisma check.
Oh, God.
Yes, Dong, make a charisma check.
My
no, it's going to be
favorite.
good, right? Because he's trying to charm someone.
Okay, but Stong's strength is his strength.
Oh.
You got a 2.
Not a peace sign.
You got food in your mouth while you're kissing. You're still chewing
Oh.
your stuff. This does not go over well.
Why can't I be cool?
If Artemisia flips it, she's gonna actually in her outline.
Ilra
"No,
withdraws her hand. She's
Oh,
like,
no."
perhaps this is a bad choice, and she takes a goblet of wine instead. Holds it up.
There.
That one we
Sorry.
know.
Sorry, I ruined it for everybody. I wanted to kiss it after me.
Then we are agreed,
Okay.
and that is going to be all the time we have for tonight for the Westgate Irregulars, who have now embarked on this quest to lure the Night Mass into a trap of some kind. With Illyra's aid, she has informed you of a couple things that you should do. One is to go talk to Mirren. The other is to see what aid she can drum up for you. And the third is to plan out where you want to draw the Night Mass into a battle.
Firehouse.
You have an idea already.
No, I was just saying, oh, Briar House. Yes.
No.
Oh,
Church? I don't know.
And
Well, we already did the arena.
and
go
on
to
that
Lilton's
note,
house. I mean, if you reckon
Oh,
it.
at Lilton's house.
Sorry, go ahead.
on that note, there is another vignette that none of the irregulars witness, but our viewers witness, where there is a man sitting in what appears to be a throne made of black stone,
Oh no.
and he is kind of looking at one hand, and a human-looking fellow with a bandaged arm and dressed all in black appears next to him and says, "Now do you believe me? Now will you unleash me?" And the Night King, whose skin is like obsidian black, says, "The Vamos were a useful resource. I believe that their loss shall impact our business, but we can weather this storm." And the Twilight Knight says, "Yes, but who are they going to kill next? Are they going to kill are they going to kill the Countess? Are they going to kill the Count of Coins? Are they going to kill you?" And the Night King looks over at him and his eyes glow red and he says, "Fine. Go ahead and kill them if that is what you wish, but do not expect any support from me. You've already failed once. I expect you will fail again.
Ooh.
If you fail, do not return." And he says, "I won't." And then he disappears into the shadows. And the Night King says, "Yes, because you will die again."
Hmm.
And that's the end of that little scene. So,
Wow. Mean dad.
Twilight Knight's coming.
Could only end well.
Thank you, players. That was really good. I'm going to toss it to you to go around the table like we usually do. Starting with Aaron.
Thank you to our sponsors, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Check them out at idlechampions.com.
Thank you to our moderators. I believe tonight it is Shay and Seldering.
Thank you, Gen Con TV and Caldea Studios. Gen Con TV has really great nightly programming, like every single evening. They deal with a lot of board games, tabletop games, and other RPGs. I believe somebody will be posting the schedule in the chat. Check them out.
Thank you, Marcus Mays, our butt-kicking production manager.
Thank you to all of you, to all of our viewers.
And the adventure continues over on our website, www.dungeonscrawlers.com.
And keep your eyes peeled for our upcoming Twitch channel of our own, which is twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers. It should be in the chat. Ahmad will be posting it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Our first live episode on our new channel is going to be on the 13th. We're still on Gen Con TV on the 6th, so tune in and we'll have more details for you then. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. Again, thank you for coming with us on this adventure. It's been really fun. And you've been a major part of that. So I want you to give yourselves a round of applause in your various domiciles, keeping safe from the virus. And we'll be seeing you next week.
Pat yourself on the back. Yeah.